Yeah, okay, so I thought what I would do, and I wish I had thought of this when Halloween was going, but as it turns out, there's only a select few of these. So, bizarre Victorian postcards. As I was going through, I wanted to do this. I think it's going to be a series. And yeah, when I was going through for Halloween, because I decided to go ahead and look at the Halloween, I was like, "Well, maybe I can look at a few." There really aren't that much. You with the uh Victorian and Edwardian Halloween, it's basically a picture. Some of them are a little creepy looking. Mainly it's the man in the moon or the face that they use for the jack-o'-lanterns and all of that. Yeah, that's what makes it bizarre looking. But for the most part, not really uh like a creepy factor. And then it has a little poem. And I mean, those were basically the Hallmark cards of the day. And, but I don't know what it was about Christmas and New Year's that they went all out. And it wasn't just here in America, it was everywhere, all over the world. And Christmas just it had there was something going on. And now I did look for Thanksgiving and here in America, and for the most part, it had the landscape looking, like the fall landscapes and that kind of thing with the poems, the turkeys, and the little kids um, standing around a table waiting for pie. And, and they would have cats next to a stone um, stove and fireplace and that kind of thing. Sweet little uh sweet little images and that for the most part. I did like, and I'll put one here. I did like the turkeys driving cars. Those were cute. Okay. But not bizarre. Okay. The vegetable people, uh, as it turns out, when I saw the vegetable people and the beach themes going around where it was like a woman, there were these two women walking around the beach and their um their dress was actually a shell. And um at first I was like, okay, but all right, in Victorian era, the Thanksgiving meal had seafood, so I guess that's where it's coming from. No, it was an advertisement. Okay, the vegetable people were again, I guess it's for seeds that are the company is long gone, and so which we'll get into as we look at these. And nothing wrong with the vegetable people. I mean, there was the rutabaga man who is very dapper. He's got his top hat and everything. Yeah, we've seen the vegetable people. There, there was one, I'm not sure what country it's from, but the carrot people who are making out with each other, that's a little weird. Okay. That one, that one was a little disturbing. But hey, they're in love. What's, n not gonna knock it. That, yeah. You know what? Carrot people deserve love too. So anyway, we're gonna look at these. Um, like I said, Christmas for some reason it was the season where because I made sure to look um at the saying of it, and a lot of them said, compliments of the season and all that. A lot of them say Christmas and everything. There were a few that were Easter that it was silly, but so I can make this a series. I probably will. So we're going to look at a few of these, not a lot. And maybe in the next one, I'll show you the carrot people that are madly in love. Hey, don't knock it. So let's start here. I think a lot of these are Christmas. Like I said, uh, the the Halloween, there was a series with the Halloween that had some trick-or-treaters. I think they were in the 1920s range. The artwork looked more 1920s, and some of them were hard to tell. Once they get into the 20s and 30s, I can pretty much tell what they are. And but it was little trick-or-treaters. One was a little witch, and another one was a little ghost, and uh, a policeman was running after him. It looked like it was part of a series. I tried to find the rest of the series, and I'll keep looking. And if I could find the whole series, because it didn't really make sense. Why was this? Why would a policeman go after children? Anyway, so this first one that we're going to look at is it's Christmas. It says Happy Christmas, and they're chickens. The- They're drinking coffee and toast, but okay, here's the part that I have. They have one of those little egg stands. That worries me. What did you just do? That's okay. That's not a happy Christmas. Well, maybe for them. Uh, I don't know. Maybe in that universe, those stands are for something else. Maybe it's for their feed, their grain. Let's put it that way. And the little sign of above says breakfast in bed, charged extra. So looks like they're on vacation. Why not? Absolutely, why not? Especially the rooster. Roosters, you know, because they, except for Foghorn Leghorn. Look, I love Looney Tunes. I really do. To this day, I love Looney Tunes, and I'm just a big kid. But Foghorn Leghorn, what? When did he ever wake up the farm? He was busy harassing the dog, which I don't remember the dog ever having a name in that particular cartoon. And was the kid's name Egbert? I can't remember. But that little uh brainy kid he kept trying to to act like he knew more than that kid and oh my goodness. And the mom, I think the mom was voiced by June Foray. Uh I miss her. I love that she says, I voiced your entire childhood. She's not wrong. But yeah, Foghorn Leghorn was one that uh he he's like the one rooster that didn't really, except for harassing. Wasn't there one where Bugs Bunny crossed over into Foghorn? Because usually it was just him harassing the dog all the time and then trying to tell the kid that he knew more than, yeah, I think his name was Egbert. But it turned out, yeah, I think there was one. Or maybe it's Sylvester. Not Sylvester, but Daffy. I wouldn't be surprised if it was both Sylvester and Daffy Duck. But it seems like Bugs Bunny came in there somewhere. And I mean, Chuck Jones, Chuck Jones is from Washington State, so that's why in a lot of those cartoons you had the Walla Walla Washington. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Here we have it says Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. These robins are, oh yeah, that's what they're doing. That poor cat, the background, you see this cat. That cat has seen some things. I mean, you have these three birds. One is on his back on the table. The other one is drinking from the glass, and the other one is just sloshed in punch bowl. Eh, that poor cat, man. I feel I feel sorry for the cat more than anything else. I mean, he's, this one isn't so much. I mean, like there are quite a few, and of course, with this being a series that I want to do, there's others with birds that are like relatable in many ways and are supposed to be like uh heartfelt. And this is just hilarious. Who hasn't gone to a party and seen this? I've gone to many parties and I have seen people like this. Just, and of course, because you always see the couple that are you can't drink. Give me your keys. You're not driving. I'm fine to drink. I'm fine to drive. I'm okay. I only had one. No, you had five. Okay. You can't count, woman. True story. Okay. That actually, who hasn't heard this argument? So, it's more relatable than anything else. And but the the icing on the cake is that cat's reaction in the back. It's like, oh. It just, it does remind me of there are a lot of people who are posting online where they show like birds and squirrels where they get into fermented fruit. And I think the funniest is the I don't think anybody was actually recording it. It was just caught on like a security camera type thing or a ring camera or something. And it had this squirrel that had been eating this fermented fruit of whatever it was, and all of a sudden he lifts his head and he's just like, it's like it kicked in. And look, I'm going to say this right now because I'm sure that there's going to be somebody who's going to be, that's not funny. Even in the wild, they grab hold of fermented fruit. So I'm sorry, but it's hilarious. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. If you think that animals, if you think that there isn't fermented fruit in the wild, there is. And if you think that animals don't grab on, animals grab everything. Okay. Oh, so I don't know what to tell you. So moving on from that is so this is one of the bizarre ones, and I'm not sure what country this is because I can't read the note that the mouse is holding. I think it's a mouse. I don't think it's a rat. But we have, maybe it's a rat. Yeah, I think it is a rat now looking at it. And it's riding a lobster. Now, I got to be honest, there are quite a few crustaceans, Christmas cards with crustaceans. Now, here in America, of course, we have New England. Like Boston is big for their uh, crab and lobster. I think lobster more than anything else. And again, Maine is big for their seafood dishes and everything. So you go down New England and that's what they have. So, at first when I saw this, and there were some that were from here in America, and I thought that that's what it was. Then I started seeing from other countries, and I'm like, okay, so this was a thing. But why the rat? And again, I can't read what it says. I will blow it up and put it here. Any of you that can read it, let us know what it says. Um, I'm not sure what language it is. I'm not even gonna guess. But just so now, one thing, when I was looking for pictures way back when, and as I continue to look for pictures, when I first started, I was finding pictures of uh I think originally they were from France, and then I was finding them from other countries as well. It was of women holding fish, or they would have fish in the picture somewhere. And then I was also finding couples, and they would have fish with them. And I'm like, what is this fish thing? What is going on? And come to find out that in the Victorian and Edwardian era, April Fool's Day, there was a connection with fish. Now, I don't remember what it is. I did look it up back then, and I just can't remember what it is. I'll put it in the description box. And but I don't know that here in America we did it so much, have the whole fish thing. And but so fish uh there was a fish connection with April Fool's Day. And but the crustacean thing with Christmas, I don't I don't know. But but yeah, I thought this was funny. This okay. It says one good turn deserves another. I saw this kind of a thing quite a bit, and it was always a different uh art style. So obviously different artists were doing it, and which happens quite a bit. Somebody does something and then other people do it. So going on since the dawn of time. And in fact, I think I have well, so obviously the Christmas dinner or Thanksgiving dinner, because these are turkeys, and it looks like a slab of uh, another slab of meat. As I think that other thing is like that could be plum pudding. I don't know, but 'cause he's got legs. I was yeah, I th that it's another part of the meal. Anyway, they have revolted and they're going after the cook. And but it says a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, because this um the turkey nearest the oven is saying have a Merry Christmas, and then this like ham hock, I think it's a ham hock, is saying and a Happy New Year. Yeah, I really think that that's a plum pudding of some kind that looks like a man in the moon. So, um, but I do have another one that is like this. Let me see, where is it? Yeah, here. Here it is. And it says, wishing you a Merry Christmas. That's a better look at this is a side view. And it's along the same lines as what the other one was that I just showed. And I think that is a plum pudding. And of course, you've got the ham hock there. I think that's, yeah, anyway, not a cook, obviously. And then you've got the birds that are, and so yeah, they're revolting. And the the Christmas meal is revolting. It's bizarre, but at the same time, it is humorous when you think about it. I mean, the idea that the cook is in the back making your dinner, and because this was, of course, during a time when you had to hunt your own food and you had to make your own, you had to bring the turkey to yourself, you had to buy the turkey and everything. Well, a lot of times you hunted for the turkey yourself. That was how it was, and instead of going to the grocery store and buying it and all that and everything. So, but there were more farmers then than there are now, and that's the way to look at it. Anyway, so yeah, it looks bizarre, but you know, it's a it's dark when we think about it now, but back then, not so dark. Funny how times change like that. But this one just cracked me up. This one, and it says wishing you a jolly Christmas. Now hear me out, because I'm a musician. Okay. And from a musician standpoint, yeah, that would piss me off. Okay. I'm just trying to do my job and trying to make some extra money here. I'm underneath and playing the music, playing the tunes, playing the carols and everything. And you have this older couple that douses you with water. You know, get off my lawn, something like that. And but from the older couple perspective, I can understand. How late is it? That is something to think about. And I mean, even the dog is insulted. If you look at the dog, he's insulted by it. So yeah, I can look at it from both ways. Me being a musician and everything. I mean, this actually took me back when I was really little. Well, not so little. I was actually middle school at this point, now that I think about it. And our church decided to actually go to grocery stores and go caroling at these grocery stores for no reason other than to just be there. We weren't raising money or anything like that. And I can remember being at the grocery store in this corner area in the frozen food section, singing these songs. And like I was with three other teenagers, and we were embarrassed because of the fact that our parents made us do this. It was Saturday and we had to do this. And everybody that walked by couldn't get to what they needed because of this group of people who were just, well, I'm so glad that they never did that again. I guess that they got so many complaints. Well, yeah, of course you're gonna get the dousing. I to this day, I don't know why they decided to do that. I mean, just just dress up and sing the songs in the local parade that we have every year. Just ask to be in that parade. Do it that way. Because seriously, we weren't raising money for anything. It, I'm telling you, I don't know why they did it. Thank God they never did it again. Oh my gosh. Okay. This one showed up on so many of those bizarre, creepy pages for good reason. Now, I would understand if like the bottle were a brand of drink and this was supposed to be an advertisement, much like I said with um the beach theme, and that was actually an advertisement for a tea company. I don't think I said that before. Yeah, uh it was a tea brand, and so that's there was that set of, and then of course with the vegetable people, and it was a series of vegetable people, not just here in America but all over. They had these vegetable people, and so I would understand if that, but all it says is jovial Christmas, and then it says compliments of the season. So this is just a regular postcard. What is with the clown? It, uh, I actually went further and I actually looked to see if this was part of a series. Like, did they do a circus theme or something? Because again, there are quite a few different series that were running for Christmas. And no, this was the only one that I found because it would make sense. Maybe they had one that was this drunk clown. They had another one that was a tightrope walker for one reason or another. They had a strong man for another reason. They didn't have that. See, because that would make sense. But all I could find was this this clown. And I gotta be honest, even for the day, this would creep kids out. Okay. Now I understand that these days people are scared to death of clowns and everything. And I'm sure that part of that has to do with, you know, I know at least for me, because of the whole thing with um the what's his name? John Wayne Gacy. Yeah. When I was in middle school, that's when he was game overed. So, and again, I have to use special wording, otherwise YouTube gets upset. So, but it's understandable. I'm not making fun of anybody for that reason. No, not at all. Please under please understand. Okay, move on from the clown. Okay, there are a lot of Christmas cards with frogs. But I do want to make clear that when I was going through, I also found a lot of Easter cards with frogs, which would make more sense because of it being spring. Um, there were a couple Halloween cards that I found, so I'm sure that there's more. It just takes a little bit more digging. And but I'm telling you, Christmas and Easter were the top two. Now, as for this one, I think it's the cutest one. These these little froggies with their umbrellas and their galoshes. And because and some of them are cute and innocent. There are a few that are disturbing. And there were quite a few people who, in their blogs that they show these bizarre show them, like frogs stealing from other frogs or other animals and game over them. That doesn't make any sense. Now, we all know that the Victorians have a this weird obsession, which is not so weird when you come to think of it, because nowadays people are watching crime shows like crazy. They, me included, just to make it clear. So, when we're saying, oh, they have a weird obsession with death, I'm sorry, but so when we see stuff like that, yeah, I mean, I was also finding these Christmas cards where it was those dead canaries. That's weird. Why would you send a Christmas card? Compliments of the season? What are you saying? Merry Christmas, Aunt Martha. Here's a That's weird, man. That's where I say, yeah, that's a weird thing. You don't send that stuff to your but so those certain things where the frogs are doing criminal acts is just odd. But I mean, like when they're dancing on the beach, when they're sh showing off their little galoshes and hanging out in the rain and everything. There's one that I thought was really sweet, and I'll probably show it in the next one because I don't have it here. Um, where the frog is playing a flute for a little duck, a little baby duck. And just cute little scenes like that. And it really doesn't bother me, the frogs. And so yeah, the criminal acts are disturbing. I don't know why they would do that or why you would think anyway, as if things we do aren't weird. People are going to look 100 years from now and be like, what were they doing in the 2020s? No, we didn't know either. Then, okay, I feel bad for these children. They are horrified. Frosty, okay, so you see in the background that the sun is out and Frosty is melting. And these kids are just the one kid closest, you could see his face. He's just like, "Oh my gosh." And I mean, they're horrified. Snowmen in these can go either way. They have a pleasant face. They're, but others are like the disturbing Santas. Look, I'm not going to defend the Santas in these, like in the cabinet cards that you see. I don't know why they couldn't get a good-looking Santa. Like, why are you trying to make him look like Rasputin, who wasn't around yet? But gosh, look, this is supposed to be a jolly time, cheery and all of this. And he looks like he wants to eat the children. This is not good. And then you have this where I do have to say something here that people in the Victorian era loved to make snow people. Okay, it makes me really annoyed when like on Instagram they will show the old uh like 1890s snow people. Like there's one in particular where they make a whole snow family, even a snow dog. There's a little snow puppy. And people are trying to say that it's photoshopped. No, it's not. If people are making like snow castles and like all that and like one person made there's another I'll put one here and he made it's a gentleman. He's in his top hat and everything, and he finished up making this snow woman in the usual dress. You know, it's got the bustle and everything and all that. And people are trying to say that it's fake. Okay, step away from the whole saying that everything is AI. Step away from saying that everything is CGI, everything is Photoshop. Not everything is those three things. Okay, there are people who did things before you existed. Okay, there were the fact that you will go to the beach and take pictures of those people making those sand sculptures and everything. Yeah, people in the 1890s were doing that too with snow. And I'm sure that there are people who were sculpting all kinds of cool stuff with sand as well. Get over yourself. Damn. Oh my gosh. I get so tired of every time something is posted online anymore that's from like the 1920s or even the 1890s, and your first response is, that's fake, that's AI, that's this, that's that. You know, if you're gonna live in that bubble, I don't know what to tell you. You know? Yeah. Um, I guess you've been touched by Isaac Asimov or something, because as disturbing as that may sound, but you know what? The movie by Steven Spielberg was made in 2002. Yeah, that is AI. Lord. Oh man. I remember when Isaac Asimov was real. Like he existed before he died. I remember when he promoted the internet. I know my wording was all messed up there, but I mean, come on, people. Like, chill out with this AI crap. Good Lord. Your first response at seeing something from the past that people, I think that's the funniest part is that seeing that refrigerators had devices, you know, had all this stuff. Yeah, people were thinking before. Jules Verne knew all that stuff before Star Trek did it. Gene Roddenberry is not a genius. Okay? Get over it. And I'm a fan of Star Trek. I just get really tired of him getting all the credit for Jules Verne doing it first. Don't know what to say. You know, for as much as people say, well, you know, nothing is original. Hmm. Okay, so here's more frogs. Moving on from that. And here's bugs. Here's the Beatles. Here's the Christmas Beatles. Actually, wasn't it that Russian film that was uh the Christmas bugs or whatever it was? Yeah, the gentleman who did the stop motion with uh pinned bugs, and because he did the Cameraman's Revenge, and I think the first one was the Christmas bugs, and can't remember which one was the first. Both of them, Cameraman's Revenge is hilarious as far as I'm concerned. I like that one. And but the Christmas bugs, and I don't think that's the right title. I'll correct myself, of course. But that one was just really, really sweet. It really was. But it seems like if memory serves, one helped improve his uh skills with the other one. So anyway, so yeah, we have I'm telling you right now, with all of these, there are so many beetles and bugs. There's katydids, there's praying mantises, there's moths, there's so I don't know what the bug thing is, but I mean, uh, there's one where they're at a poker game. The bugs are at a poker game. And it's a Christmas one. I thought that it would have been a New Year's one, but it wasn't. It would have made more sense. But then again, I mean, the stuff that we do now for like New Year's and Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween and all that is not what they did back then. And I am constantly having to remind myself of that as well. And because I mean, even reminding myself of the menu for Thanksgiving dinner because they had seafood. I mean, one of the biggest things that they had on the menu for Thanksgiving dinner was that not just the turkey, turkey, potatoes, vegetables, and that, they would also have seafood, which I'm not a fan of, but and they would also do like they would have the first course, second course, third course. I don't know anybody that does that anymore. And you just have it all in one go. And so yeah, because um I've seen an 18.99 menu. I saw one of the best I highly recommend seeing Max Miller's channel. In fact, I think he just put out another, or he's in the process of putting out another cookbook. And I mean, he does recipes from ancient times up to present day. And I highly recommend looking at his channel. And because not only does he talk about whatever it is he's um, doing, but he will give a history lesson on it as well. And so Max Miller, go look him up. I really, really like his channel. And this one was a series. Okay, and yes, super creepy faces. That poor girl, but she's supposed to be a doll. And I guess that's supposed to be a ball, a bouncy ball. And of course, a pine cone. And I think this is supposed to be, it's a series, and I guess it's supposed to follow the pine cone because I did find about three or four in the series. And yeah, this was during the time when they put candles on and we thought we were rebellious. They put candles on their tree. They put open flame on their tree. Um, but interestingly enough, little side note is I did find out that even in the 1800s, they were flocking their trees. Now, I don't remember how they did it. I'll have to look that up and I'll put that in the description box, but they did. They flocked their trees. I thought that was a newer thing, a newer process. My 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 grandmother absolutely loved having flocked trees, but she was allergic to how it was done. By the time it was on the tree and dried, she was fine. So my grandpa would go out into the garage and do it. And my dad always talks about, and even after grandpa died, it was like my dad, my uncle, and my grandma would always talk about, him going out there and and flocking the tree for grandma because she loved having it looking like that and everything. So, but and then my great grandma would talk about having candles on the tree. And my my mom talked about remembering seeing the candles on the tree when she was little, and then by the time she was a teenager, they didn't do that anymore. So, but Um, but yeah. Um, these faces are super creepy. That poor doll is blink twice if you need help. But basically, the the series is this pine cone going through and looking at the toys under the tree, interacting with the toys under the tree, just like with this doll and with this ball. I just wish they had chosen a better. But this is what I was talking about earlier with like the Halloween, where whatever face template they used for the jack-o'-lanterns and the man in the moon, the creepy face. And that face for that pine cone is one of the creepiest I've ever seen. That's just crazy. I don't know why they decided to. But but yeah, this one is a series. I may show others and unless this disturbed everybody. And this one is another one that's relatable. Here's some kitties and there's Mama Cat. If you have siblings, you really relate to that. Because there's the youngest who is throwing a tantrum, does not want to go. That's the one Mama Cat is holding on to, just having a tantrum and a half. Doesn't want to go. Doesn't want to go to bed. And the one behind Mama Cat, right behind Mama Cat, is crying for one reason or another. Could be not related to anything. That's probably uh preteen, preteen phase. Oh gosh, I remember my preteen phase. That was, I'd rather forget it. There's always that one thing that will spark that memory, and it's like, oh, and there are people who remember my, okay, every time, every time. Oh my gosh. And then behind preteen kitty are the two troublemakers. Because you got another baby cat pulling the tail of the other. These are the two that will never leave each other alone. Mom, he's doing this. I didn't do nothing. Do I need to separate you two? Oh my gosh. Poor mama cat. How relatable is this? Look, I only have one sibling, but I have a lot of cousins. And so this is relatable. When we were growing up, I'd be at grandma's house and I know this. And I have a cousin who is the same age as me. And the last two kitties, that was us a lot of times. When we were really little, before we turned 10 years old, that was us. My mom and my and her sister, who is my cousin's mom, have vivid memories of us. We'd be out playing in the backyard, and then all of a sudden we'd be rolling around in the dirt because one of us suddenly was mad at the other one. We didn't know why. We would, and then all of a sudden we were no longer fighting, and we were fine with each other again. Go figure. Oh, good heavens. And talking about disturbing Santa, here's old Father Christmas. What is he doing? Santa, this is not your job. No, this is not a happy Christmas. Because it says up there, Happy Christmas. No. That kid is obviously screaming in terror. No, see, when the kid is asking for a present, that doesn't mean that you put him in. I think this Santa needs to be fired. This is this is not okay. Yeah, this is I saw this. I was looking through pictures to do this, and when I found this, I out loud said, "What is he doing?" And my parents both turned and looked at me. I showed her the picture, and Dad said, I, what?" It's just exactly. There's no explanation for this one. It's not okay. That's this one is all kinds of what the hell? Oh. Oh my gosh. And so this is going to be part one because that's all I have for right now. But this is going to be part one. Um, because there are so many. Oh my goodness gracious. And so yeah, we looked at frogs. We looked at some that were relatable. I think just two or three. And in the next one, I will look for those vegetable people. Like I said, I will try to find the one that's the carrots so that you get more of an idea. Hey, carrots need love, not knocking it. But it just when you first see it, it's like would I lie to you? No, I would not lie to you. And I'll find more of the frogs and the beetles or the bugs and the crustaceans and the robins because we only saw the schnockered robins. So that poor cat, that poor kitty cat. And but anyway, I'll stop here.